Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Nu știu încă de unde am venit, ce caut aici. Plecam cu coada între picioare, acum scap de afiș. N-aveam răbdare să ascult deloc, acum taci. Și răspund după ce înțeleg ce-ai zis. Se simte timpul cum trece sau noi cum trece prin timp. Trăiesc momentul de față ca să-mi creez amintiri. Țin de familie, de prieteni, de cine-i loial. Restul voia sorții, scuze, mă cheamă propriul destin. Totuși te simt, o singură șansă avem cu sorii. Sipim focul deschis, e mult mai greu când ai un scop de atins. Te uiți pe lângă tine, vezi cine a supraviețuit. Câți din ei se luptă să trăiască cum ar trebui. O inimă mare, doi plămâni ca să respir. O inimă mare, mă inspiră zi de zi. Fă din șansa ta un vis, fă din șansa ta un vis împlinit. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Ce ale, 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 nu știu ce să aleg. Dar ce ale, 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 ale. Nu te teme de moarte că nu-ți mai trăiești viața. Pune zâmbetul pe față dimineața. Du-te, ia legume fresh, fă-și viața. Pune doar ce trebuie în trupul ăla ca un rasa. Niște mișcare ca să ungă carcasa. Binecuvântare nu e lumea prea razna. Alegerile noastre ne fac să simțim asta. Atât de multe drumuri eu, yeah. De alei, de alei, de alei, de alei. Dar ce alei, 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 alei.
Știi, avem o singură viață și nu
știu ce să aleg.
merită să ne stresăm în fiecare zi pentru toate mizeriile.
Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. One life, one life. One life, one life, one life. One life, one life, one life, one life. Learn it, love it, live it. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Nu știu încă de unde am venit, ce caut aici. Plecam cu coada între picioare, acum scap de afiș. N-aveam răbdare să ascult deloc, acum taci. Și răspund după ce înțeleg ce-ai zis. Se simte timpul cum trece sau noi cum trece prin timp. Trăiesc momentul de față ca să-mi creez amintiri. Țin de familie, de prieteni, de cine-i loial. Restul voia sorții, scuze, mă cheamă propriul destin. Totuși te simt, o singură șansă avem cu sorii. Sipim focul deschis, e mult mai greu când ai un scop de atins. Te uiți pe lângă tine, vezi cine a supraviețuit. Câți din ei se luptă să trăiască cum ar trebui. O inimă mare, doi plămâni ca să respir. O inimă mare, mă inspiră zi de zi. Fă din șansa ta un vis, fă din șansa ta un vis împlinit. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine.
And welcome everyone to another deadline stream on this channel ahead of Game Week 7 of Fantasy Premier League. Good evening firstly everyone, thank you so much for joining so early. It is a Friday deadline, so yeah, feels kind of weird a little bit. The last deadlines were on Saturday. Good evening, how are you? Hi Ray, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciate it. Personally, I'm feeling a little bit sick this week, but yeah, really happy, another game week. Welcome everyone to another stream on this channel. Really good to see you here. Welcome back for another game week. My triple captain on Haaland paid off well last week. Really so happy to hear about that, Ray. Congrats, what an amazing shout. Amazing how that worked for you. I mean, 2 goals and an assist, maximum bonus points for Erling Haaland during Dreamland pretty much. So yeah, congrats on that. Really happy it really worked out for you. Do you think Gabriel will start with 70% knock, or do I bench him and start Anderson against Bournemouth? We're going to discuss about that. I have Gabriel also in my team. I'm going to start him. Arteta was pretty positive about him today in his press conference. Now, again, Arteta is not really the manager we should 100% trust with this information. But yeah, I'm just going to play Gabriel. I think that I would more likely say that he's going to start, but obviously there are some doubts here. If you, I don't know, want to go 100% safe, bench him, but again, I would likely play Gabriel, and I think that he's going to play, but yeah, hopefully if he's not going to play, hopefully he's not going to come in from the bench, and then my other defender is going to be in. So yeah. How are you guys first anyway? How was your day? Until we start the stream, we still have 2 hours and 50 minutes to go till the deadline. For me, it's going to be straight gaming. I use my wildcard in gaming 6, so probably I'm just going to roll the transfer, spoiler alert for this deadline stream. But yeah, I have some benching dilemmas to finish, and yeah, I'm pretty much set up for this game week without using any transfers. The plan right now is to roll. Hi Chogal Tempa, hi FPL Prodigy, thank you so much guys for joining the stream, really appreciate it, thank you a lot. João Pedro for Gyökeres. So do you mean selling João Pedro to Gyökeres? I mean, I don't think that I would do that transfer, to be honest with you. Now, Gyökeres played 90 minutes in the Champions League. There are some doubts, maybe. I still think that Gyökeres is going to start. I like him for the next few fixtures, but I just don't think that João Pedro is a clear sell. Yeah, I just don't understand why a lot of people are willing to sell João Pedro, because yeah, in game week 6, in this game he's going to play against Liverpool, but after that I think that João Pedro is going to be actually a really good buy for anyone. The fixtures are great for Chelsea, his minutes are going to look really good in the Premier League. So yeah, I would like to keep João Pedro, but yeah, if you really want to sell him, if you really want to buy a striker from Arsenal, yeah, it's only Gyökeres. I'm doing well. Good to hear that, Ray. What are your thoughts on Doku? I think that is a decent option. Now, if you watch this channel, if you know me, if you followed me, you know pretty much my opinion about the Manchester City midfielders. Now, again, if you're picking Doku, you need to be some kind of an FPL manager. If you're going to be upset that he's going to be on the bench in some games, then probably he's not a pick for you. But in general, I like Doku as a player. Obviously, he's amazing. He's putting up decent numbers. He's getting a lot of assists in the Premier League, in the last game weeks at least. And yeah, at the moment pretty much he looks like he's nailed for Manchester City, but after some players are going to come back, after someone like Cherky is going to come back, Rodri is going to get more minutes, there is always going to be some rotation risk with Manchester City midfielders. So again, if you're okay with that, then yeah, just go ahead. The fixtures are decent for Manchester City. Now, from my point of view, I think that I would rather go for someone like Foden if you have the cash, obviously, but if not, Doku is an interesting punt. Hi Rizon Ali, thank you so much for joining the stream, really good to see you here. Hi Arthur, Lewine, and Radim Brown, thank you so much guys for joining the stream, really appreciate it so early. Hi Dennis, hi Arthur, thank you so much again for joining. I have Mitoma yellow flagged. Would you still start him or bench him? there are some doubts with Mitoma. He wasn't called up for the national team for Japan, and I don't think that he's going to start in this gaming, to be honest with you, in gaming 7. If I bench, have João Pedro, Anderson, Mickey van de Ven on the substitutes bench, and if bench Mitoma, who from 3 would you start? I think that I would start João Pedro from those 3. I mean, yeah, the order would be João Pedro, Van de Ven, Anderson. I like the fixture for Mickey van de Ven, obviously against Leeds, but I don't know. Usually, I really want to start the striker, and also right now, Van de Ven is not one of those defensive contributions monster defenders. So, if he was someone like Senesi, maybe I would think a little bit about starting Senesi instead of João Pedro. But if you're talking about Van de Ven, I would probably just start João Pedro. I think that he's going to start. I think that he's going to play against Liverpool. So yeah. I have a similar dilemma. For me, it is between Reinders and João Pedro, and at the moment I'm benching João Pedro, but yeah, Reinders, I just think that he's a better option than Van de Ven. Hey mate, would you be worried about Mateta's minutes with Europe and a lot of games, thinking about sell him next week for Bone? Let's see how he's going to do this game week. Yeah, obviously Crystal Palace are playing in Europe, but the thing is Mateta yesterday played just one half in Europe and Ketia came in for him, so again his minutes could be managed at some point, but if you have Mateta still at the moment, I think that he's a decent option. Now again, probably I think that Bone is a slightly better pick from game week 8 onwards, but again he doesn't have penalties, which Mateta has. So I think that it's not really worth the transfer, definitely not this game week. Wait and see what Mateta is going to do, how many minutes he's going to get in game week 7, and then maybe decide. But to be honest with you, I really like Mateta at the moment. From all those strikers in that price bracket, I don't think that's I think that he's a good option. Mateta also had a lot of chances against Liverpool, so he's a decent one, also nailed on penalties. So yeah, Gabriel, Guardiola, Senesi, Anderson, Alderete, which 3 to start? Definitely I would start Gabriel, I would start Guardiola, and I would start Senesi. So yeah, pretty much the first 3 I would start. Arthur, again, maybe there are some doubts about Gabriel, but surely if you have him, you're just going to play him. That's what I'm going to do at least. Maybe there's a 10% risk there. Maybe Gabriel is going to be on the bench and came in just for 10 minutes or something, but I just don't think that's going to happen. But again, it is a possibility. But yeah, I would not start Alderete. Although Man United were really bad this season, I think that they have a good chance of scoring against Sunderland, so I would not start Alderete. And the same goes with Anderson. I would just start Gabriel, Guardiola and Senesi if that was my team. Virgil or João Pedro, who to bench? Yeah, that's tough. I think that normally I would start João Pedro in that case. Again, it is really tough to predict these games, but definitely I can see Chelsea scoring. The same could go for Liverpool for Chelsea. I don't think that Chelsea are going to score a lot of goals against Liverpool, but it really depends how do you think this game is going to go on. Usually I would always start the attacker. Now again, I understand your question, because probably Virgil van Dijk is going to get defensive contributions against Chelsea, and then you're starting pretty much from 2-3 points, but I would take the higher upside with someone like João Pedro. So I think that I would start João Pedro instead of Virgil van Dijk. Hi Spidey, thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here again. Really appreciate it, guys. Sorry if my voice is a little bit weird. I'm still a little bit sick, so yeah, hopefully I'm going to get better over the weekend. Love the feedback. I have another question. Though I don't have any Arsenal, double Villa, double United, do you think I need to wildcard this week? No. If you have Villa players, I would definitely try to delay the wildcard till game week 8 at least, because obviously it is easy. They have a fixture at home against Burnley, so I would play those players. I would play Watkins, Rogers, Konsa. It doesn't really matter which players are from Aston Villa, and also the players from United are, again, the fixture against Sunderland is not going to be that easy, but it's still Manchester United. It's and yeah, I know that they were really bad in the last in the start of the season. I would keep them as differential against Sunderland and wildcard in game week 8, something like that, if your team is looking decent. Other than that, so yeah, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing fine. Besides me being a little bit sick, but yeah, not that I'm not that bad, so don't worry, guys. Thanks for the questions. Hi, SM, hi ATLs, and hi Raul, hi Elikar FC. Thanks so much, guys, for joining. You're so many so early. Really appreciate the support. Really means a lot. Anderson, Poro, Senesi, Richard. Which three to start? I would start Senesi for sure. I would start Pedro Poro, and I would start Richards against Everton or Anderson against Bournemouth. Yeah, I would start Richards. So yeah, I would bench Anderson in that case. ATL's M. And definitely I would start Poro and Senesi. Again, Poro is not going to get a lot of defensive contributions, but I would take that opportunity to play him against Leeds. Should I start Andre or Lacroix? That's really tough. If you think that Crystal Palace are going to keep a clean sheet, should be an easy decision to just start Lacroix. Again, probably I would just start Andre. He's on penalties. He's getting decent minutes. I know that he blanked last game week, which is not great, but I would always try to start the attacker, and most likely Njay, who's also on penalties. Yeah, I would try to go for the upside there. Arthur, Elikar, hi Emery, thank you so much for joining. Also, hi Zaharia, thank you so much also for joining the stream. Really appreciate the support, guys. Hi Denis, how are you? Is it okay to bring in Newcastle striker? Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thanks for the question. A little bit sick this week, but yeah, I'm doing fine. I would say that right now the latest information is that Wisa is going to be out probably until November or something like that. So it is okay to bring in Voldemort, I think. He is a nice punt, a nice differential, probably is going to get decent minutes, but if you want to bring in a Newcastle attacker, probably I would like more to buy someone like Anthony Gordon, who's also on penalties. So yeah, but if you really want to buy a striker, Voldemort is perfectly fine now. Keep in mind that when Wisa is going to be back, we don't know exactly when that's going to be. They're going to share some minutes probably, so yeah, be prepared when that's going to happen. Gabriel looking like he's gonna start after that press conference. Yeah, I mean, Arteta said that he's fine. We're going to look also at what happened in the press conferences. If you want to trust Arteta, then yeah, Gabriel is just going to start. The real truth is that we're not sure. Whatever. Again, anyone who's going to ask me to play Gabriel or not, I would say to play Gabriel if you have him into your team, and if he's not going to play, hopefully he's not going to come in from the bench and your next defender is going to come in. So again, anyway, you're going to keep Gabriel. I think that he's a great option long term. So yeah, I would just keep Gabriel and start him this game week, because the fixture is just too good. If he's going to start, you really want to have him. And Zaharia, I'm debating on who to bench out of Ismail Assar, Minte, Van de Ven this game week. I'm leaning towards Van de Ven though. What are your thoughts? Same, yeah. Usually I like to start the attacker, and Sar is a really nice option. The same for Minte. Yeah, again, if you don't have another way to start Van de Ven, I would just bench him and start Ismail Assar and Minte. I think that both of them have greater upside. I know that Van de Ven scored in the Champions League 2 days ago or yesterday. and he has a little bit of an attacking threat, but surely he's not going to score every game week. Personally, I'm going to start Van de Ven in my team, but yeah, Arteta as usual. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal have a lot of defenders, and I have to be honest here, maybe I got it wrong a little bit, because when everyone was asking me about Timber, about Calafiori, I was pretty much, I don't know, not on the fence, but I didn't recommend anyone to buy these defenders who played a lot of games, to be honest with you, in the Premier League. And at the moment, it's looking like this is going to be the back line for Arsenal: Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba and Timber. But definitely long term, I think that Gabriel is still the best one, considering his attacking threat. But if Timber is going to get the same minutes, then yeah, he's just a little bit better for the price. But you're just not going to be 100% sure for him starting every game week. Start one, bench one, João Pedro and Reinders. Okay, so now we can move to my team, because as you can see, I have the same dilemma as you. And yeah, if you want to follow my example, at the moment I'm benching João Pedro and starting Reinders. So yeah, I definitely think that it is a really tough question. It is not easy. I would just go with the flow. How do you feel about this move? There are pros and cons for both of them. Reinders has the better fixture against Brentford. There are some doubts about João Pedro's fitness, although I think that he's going to start. I'm not sure if he's going to play 90 minutes against Liverpool, but yeah. Also, Liverpool are going to be without Alisson. Mamardashvili is going to start in goal, which I don't think that it is such a big problem as so many people are pointing out to be. I think that he's more than a decent backup goalkeeper. But yeah, Liverpool were bad defensively, let's be honest, in the last 2 game weeks against Galatasaray, against Crystal Palace. I think that they can improve. I don't think that Chelsea are going to destroy Liverpool or something like that, but again, at the moment, I'm benching João Pedro. If you want to play it safe, let me just activate the countdown. We have 2 hours till the deadline, so remember, guys, do not forget to lock up your teams. What I was saying, so yeah, I forgot my idea. So João Pedro Hernandez, if you want to go safe, just play João Pedro, because his ownership is huge. He's 60% or something like that ownership. If he's going to return, it's going to be really bad for your rank. So maybe I should also start João Pedro, but again, I'm willing to bet against him for this game week. And also, I think that Reinders has a nice fixture. As I said, I think that his minutes are going to be decent, and also he could get some attacking returns. It's not out of the question or something like that, but yeah, please let me know what would you think. I'm going to start a poll right now. What would you do? Who to start? Yeah, and please let me know down in this poll, what would you do in my case? Which player would you start, João Pedro or Reinders for game week 7? I just had my team on Twitter under caption. Yeah, sure, Rizonelli. We're going to take a look at your team in a minute. Just let me finish these questions, and then we're going to move to Twitter. Updated free team: Pope, Calafiori, Timber. Nice. I like going for Calafiori and Timber if you're on a free. Cash, Senesi. Okay, so you're going with 4 defenders: Bruno, Foden, Saka, Watkins, Haaland, Voldemort. Really nice. I would like to have Gordon, yeah, instead of Voldemort if possible. I think that he has the higher upside there. Yeah, I would go, if you can go for Gordon, that's the way I would go probably. Also, he's on penalty, so that would do it for me. But yeah, other than that, your team looks great. Not too much to say about that. Gyökeres or Saka. At the moment, if you ask me for game week 7, I think that Saka is the better pick. Because Saka didn't start in the Champions League and Gyökeres played 90 minutes, I think that, if you're asking me for game week 7, I think that Saka is looking better for game week 7. But Chelsea without Palmer were struggling. Yeah. yeah, a lot of cons and pros with Chelsea. Chelsea are going to miss also a lot of players. We're going to take a look on Twitter in a minute. It's not just Liverpool. Chelsea are going to be without a lot of their defenders, without Palmer. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that game is going to go. So yeah, let's just move now to decided to bench Mitoma and start Joao Pedro. Rolling the free transfer as just use wildcard in Game Week 6. Yeah, that is what I would do. Wait a second. Yeah, okay. So this is your team. Pope, Senesi, Gabriel, Tarkovsky, Van de Ven, Semenyo, Ryan, Bruno Fernandes, Joao Pedro, Gyökeres, Haaland. Yeah, a great team. You wildcarded in Game Week 6. So, yeah, this is how I would go probably. I would bench Mitoma probably because of the doubts. Now, again, if you have a source or something like that Mitoma and you know that Mitoma is 100% going to start, I would start Mitoma. But with the doubts around him, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if he's going to start and to be worth the risk of him starting. So yeah, other than that, I really like your team. Similar to mine, so not too much to say about it. Now, I want to go a little bit through the press conferences to see. For me, it's start one of Enzo, Joao Pedro. That's tough. That's even tougher, I think. Maybe start Enzo if you think he's going to be on penalties. Probably I would do that. Also, he's going to play probably as a number 10 without Cole Palmer, so yeah. Probably do that. So yeah, let's see what happened in the press conferences today. Gabriel pictured in training, guys, so yeah, if you have some doubts about him, maybe that's going to help you. So he's in training. He's looking happy from what I see here. So yeah, what do you think? Again, if Arteta wants to rest Gabriel, he can do that against West Ham, right? Arsenal can win this game at home even without starting, I don't know, Gyökeres, Gabriel. Maybe they can rest some players, but I think that he's going to start. So yeah. Anthony Gordon, an interesting differential if you want to go there, guys. As I said before, he took 2 penalties in the Champions League 2 days ago. He's looking like he's going to be on penalties, right? Voldemort wanted to take a penalty and Gordon said no. And he just scored 2 penalties. So yeah, a really nice differential. The price is nice. The fixtures are decent. Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Fulham, West Ham, Brentford. Yeah, not bad. So yeah, with Burnley, not a lot of interesting options for us in FPL, so I'm just going to skip this part. Okay, so somebody sent me another team. FPL Prodigy. Yeah, thanks a lot for sending me your team. 1 free transfer, 0.0 millions in the bank. Sanchez and Dubravka. That's not actually such an easy decision on which to play, but again, it probably mostly depends on which goalkeeper you think is going to get more saves. And yeah, I don't mind probably playing Sanchez, the goalkeeper with the better defense, right, in Chelsea. So yeah, no problem there. Pedro Porro, Guardiola, Agbadu. You have also Nico Williams and Esteve. probably I would start Agbadu because of defensive contributions. Here you're benching Wood also. Bruno Fernandes, Doku, Mbeumo, Matetas, Sar from Tottenham, Rogers, Watkins and Haaland. Yeah, again, you could make a case maybe starting maybe Chris Wood against Newcastle away. But yeah, the fixture is not great. I understand why you don't want to do that. So yeah, definitely I would not make any transfers probably. Yeah, not a lot to argue here. I like your team. It is decent for this game week. I don't think that I would make any changes. You have 2 players from United, you have 2 players from Aston Villa, and if you're going to wildcard in game week 8, then I would just roll the transfer probably. Yeah, team looking fine. From Nottingham Forest, Murillo was forced off just 30 minutes into his comeback match last night in Europe. So yeah, if you guys have Murillo, probably he's a sell. Nico Williams, probably he's a sell. If you can't bench him, Zinchenko and Douglas Luiz are still not available from what I see here. Also, Foden not in the England squad, so he might play the whole game and there's no need to fake injuries or anything. Yeah, I mean, Foden's minutes are looking good right now, right? I mean, at some point he could be benched, he could lose some minutes. We know that can happen with any Manchester City midfielder. Yeah, no problem, FPL Prodigy. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you so much for chatting here with us. Really appreciate it. Really means a lot. Good to see you here. Hopefully you're going to have a great game week. And yeah, good luck this season also. And by the way, have a nice weekend, guys. Also, leave a like here on the stream. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. It would really mean a lot, and yeah, appreciate the support. If we move to Crystal Palace, Glasner is hopeful that Will Hughes will be available despite limping off with a dead leg in the Conference League. Jean-Philippe Mateta's halftime substitution for Eddie Nketiah was pre-planned, so yeah, it was nothing related to any injury or something like that. If you're worried about that, guys, Mateta, I would say that he's nailed at the moment. He's going to start against Everton. Yeah, definitely I would play Mateta this game if you have him, guys. And he's also a decent pick long term anyway. Besides that fixture against Arsenal in game week 8 or 9. Amadi Diallo is back in training after missing out in game week 6 for personal reasons. Martinez, Mazraoui are out. Casemiro returns from suspension. Yeah, nothing interesting here from Manchester United. From Spurs, Solanke is still out. So, guys, if you have Richarlison, he's still fine. Dragoshin, Madison and Kulusevski obviously are still out. And Kolo Muani has been back on the grass this week. Probably not enough for a start, right? And also, Thomas Frank confirmed that Cristian Romero is fit and available and will start tomorrow. So, yeah, if you guys have Romero and you had some doubts, because he missed the Champions League game with some injury doubts, Thomas Frank confirms that he's going to start in Game Week 7, and that's great news for you if you have him. From Wolverhampton, Vitor Pereira confirms that Wolves have had a dose of illness this week, with Totti Gomez struggling with the flu. And also he added that Strand Larsen is not 100% yet, but is at least training with the team. So again, no worries if you have Strand Larsen. If you don't want to buy him this game week, maybe that's enough to put you off. I mean, I think that Strand Larsen is going to start, but yeah, we can't guarantee for how many minutes. Probably not. He's not going to play 90 minutes. From Everton, if you don't already, guys, Dewsbury Hall is suspended because he got a yellow card in game week 6. So yeah, he's not going to play. And Braithwaite still remains out. That means Keane is still going to be a starter for Everton for the moment, at least. And the news a lot of people are waiting for, Mikel Arteta on Gabriel. We have to wait and see. Classic FPL, classic Arteta. And yeah, it is just so annoying when you see a manager saying questioned about a player and he just says he's a wait and see, right? Because what does that mean, really? I mean, yeah, until training, but you weren't too concerned about him. It is good. It is positive that they don't have any concerns about Gabriel. And also we just saw that Gabriel took part in training for Arsenal today. So yeah, most likely I think that Gabriel is going to start. If you have him, play him. Now the tougher question would be if you want to buy Gabriel, right? Because you don't really want to buy him for him to miss out against West Ham, but again, it really depends. If you're going to be really frustrating, if you're going to buy him and he's going to be on the bench, then yeah, just don't make the transfer. Anyway, I think that Gabriel is a nice option long term, so I think that he's a good transfer, and probably he's the best defender to buy in Game Week 7 long term. He alongside Senesi, I would say. I don't think Gordon will play full 90 minutes because they have Elanga. Yeah, they have a lot of players. You're right for pointing that out, Emery. They have Murphy, they have Elanga, they have Harvey Barnes who can play on that spot. So more likely than Elanga probably. But yeah, I agree. I don't think that Gordon is going to be a 90-minute man. But I still think that his first choice in that Newcastle team. Again, could he be on the bench at some point in some game? Definitely. But I think that if you pick right now out of Murphy, Elanga, Barnes and Gordon, for me personally, I just think that Gordon is the best option and more likely to get the most minutes. So that's why I would go for Gordon. Again, if you want to wait and see 1, 2, 3 game weeks to see how many minutes he's going to get, then sure, just wait and buy him after. It's not a rush to buy Gordon, but yeah, I really like that he's on penalties and he's guaranteed on penalties because we got that confirmation in the Champions League. So from Manchester City, after missing the win over Burnley on Saturday, Rodri made a very swift return to action for Wednesday draw with Monaco. Rodri, he talked a little bit, Pep Guardiola talked a little bit about Rodri, that he's not going to be the best version of Rodri this season, and that's normal because he missed 1 year with the injury, so he needs to have a lot of games to get that rhythm back. So yeah, not a lot, not a big impact in FPL. I mean, surely Manchester City are going to defend better when Rodri is going to be on the pitch usually, but still he's going to get some minutes. Probably he's not going to start every game week. That's good news for Reinders probably. But again, if Rodri is going to start, Reinders is more likely to get a more advanced role, and that's also good news for us Reinders owners. So yeah, again, it is bittersweet kinda. Marmoush, Enyuri, Kusanov, Cherki are still out. So that was this is what I was talking about, guys. If you going for Foden, if you're going for Jeremy Doku, when Marmoush and Cherki are going to be back, surely there's going to be some rotation. Surely there is going to be some doubts about if these players are going to start every game, even for someone like Reinders. I can see him missing at some point some games. At the moment he's looking okay because obviously Marmoush, Cherki are injured, but when Marmoush is going to be fit, I just can't see him being on the bench forever. So yeah, this is the thing. Manchester City midfielders are great. Doku, Foden. If you're okay with them missing 1 game here and there, then they are good buys for you. And yeah, if you don't mind that, if you're not going to stress too much about that, for me, for an example, if I was to buy someone like Doku, half an hour before every team sheet being released, I would just be checking my phone to see some leaks if Doku is going to start and to see him on that team sheet. So yeah. Hi Daniel Ribeiro, thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here again. Really appreciate it, and also good evening, all of you guys. Thoughts on Foden captain this week? I mean, I like it as a differential, but guys, I'm going to say it one more time here. If you have Haaland, I just don't see the reason to not captain Erling Haaland at the moment. He's just a joke. Right now, he's getting a lot of chances. He's getting a lot of goals, obviously. He's generating pretty much 1.3 expected goals per 90 minutes per game. So I don't see the reason to not captain Erling Haaland. Yeah, sure, if you want to go a little bit more funnier, if you want to go a little bit more different, then yeah, you can go for Foden, but I just can't sit here and say that Foden is a better captaincy option than Haaland if you're asking me that. Now, obviously, you're not asking me that, but yeah, as a punt, I like him. I think that he's going to start, but would I be surprised for Foden to be on the bench? Maybe a little bit, but also it is a possibility, or for him to not play 90 minutes. So again, I don't mind it. If you want to captain Foden, that's perfectly fine. He is a great FPL option when he's getting the minutes. Between Anderson and King, which one to bench? Got Semenyo and Senesi. I mean, yeah, you have Semenyo and Senesi. I am the same. I have both of them. Now, between Anderson and King, I still think that I would start Anderson, but I know that doesn't feel great with having Semenyo there. But with King again, are you 100% sure that he's going to start? Then yeah, probably I would just start King. I personally have some, I don't know, doubts about King starting every game week in the future. I think that Anderson is going to concede against Bournemouth, but also I think that he has good chances of hitting defensive contributions. So again, maybe he's going to get you 2 or 3 points anyway. Hi, Mihail Radovac, thank you so much for joining. Ibrahim Ayali, Thomas Soto, thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream. Good evening, and yeah, good to see you here. Foden or Doku, do you think they both will play this week? If you're asking me long term, I like more Foden. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think Foden has more, I don't know, when Foden is playing, we know that he can score goals. This is what it's missing with Doku. He's amazing for assists, for getting assists, Doku, but Foden is that player who's more likely to score you goals and have a better chance to hold. Now, obviously, he's a little bit more expensive, right, than Doku, but I would pick Foden if I need to pick between those two. Mihail Radovac, bench 1, play 2. Caicedo, João Pedro, and Njae. Okay, so bench 1 from Caicedo, João Pedro, and Njae. I think that I would bench Caicedo in that case. Yeah, I would play João Pedro and Njae. It is not easy. I think that definitely I would start Njae above those two, and then between Caicedo and João Pedro, if you want to play it safe, maybe go Caicedo, but again, I would just play João Pedro. His ownership is also huge at the moment, so I will not take that risk. Hi, Ibrahim Ayali. Hey, Denis, how are you? I'm a little bit sick, maybe you can tell because of my voice, but other than that, real fine. Another game week, another possibility for a green arrow. So yeah, thanks a lot for your question and for joining the stream. Hi Dennis, Thomas Otto, who would you bench? Reinders, Richarlison or Pedro? I have bench for now. Yeah, if let me just move a little bit to my team. At the moment I'm benching João Pedro to Reinders, so pretty much this would be my resolution, but again, I don't want to try to explain too much my decision. It is a really tough decision between Reinders and João Pedro. I think that both of them are really close. I would advise you to just go with your feeling, honestly, with your vibe. there are pros and cons for both of them. Ryan is with the better fixture against Brentford. João Pedro playing against Liverpool without Alisson. Konate is really bad. Liverpool were really bad in the last 2 game weeks defensively. But I just, I don't know, I just want to bet against João Pedro for these fixtures. If you want to go safe, just play João Pedro because his ownership is huge. If he's going to get a return, you're going to go down a little bit. But also I like the fixture for Randis. I think that his minutes are going to be decent and he also could get some attacking returns anyway, so yeah. To go with Anderson, I'll go with 4 defenders. Yeah, it's not a problem. You Danny Ribeiro, again, if you need to play with 4 defenders, I don't think that's such a big problem. Now again, you asked me between Anderson and King, and I just told you my opinion overall. I think that I would play Anderson because also for King, if you're going to play King, I just think that Bournemouth are a really good defense, solid defense at the moment. I don't see a lot of attacking returns for Fulham players. They're going to be without Muniz, probably without Raul Jimenez, so I don't really see Fulham scoring a lot of chances against Bournemouth, so that would be my reasoning behind this decision. So yeah, I would start Anderson, although I think that Fulham are going to concede, so yeah, I will just rely on defensive contributions and maybe an attacking return from a set piece from Anderson, something like that. Hey all, hi Gavin Hartzenberg, thank you so much for joining the stream, really good to see you here. Thanks for the support a lot, really appreciate it, also on my videos. Get well soon, thank you so much Ibrahim. Yeah, my nose is just not bleeding, but yeah, you know, it's a little bit tough for me to speak right now. Spidey out of topic, but apparently Yamal has suffered another groin injury and out for 3 more weeks. Yeah, real sad for Yamal, but again, he's really young and he played already a lot of games, and I just feel that we're rushing a lot of young players to play a lot of games, even for the older players. Obviously, this is the endless discussion with a lot of games to play, and it is too much for players in general, and that's why we're going to get worse football in general. Maybe not actually true, but again, I agree, it is too much. There are too many competitions for players in general, and yeah, I agree with that. That could also be a cause for his injuries, but yeah, wish him a speedy recovery, obviously. This week will be a red arrow for me for sure. Currently 168k overall. That's an amazing rank, to be honest with you, Danny Ribeiro. In the first 6 game weeks of the season, I think that's great. I wish I had your rank, so congrats firstly. Yeah, you're in a good position, I would say, at the moment at least. Hi Abidal Hussein, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciated. 14 people, thank you so much guys for joining the stream, really appreciate it. Should I start João Pedro, Haaland captain? I think that you should captain Erling Haaland, yes, if you want to. I think that Haaland is the best captaincy option this week, definitely, with the form he's currently in. Yeah, I don't see a reason to not captain Haaland. Grealish, João Pedro, Caicedo, pick 2 among these 3. Sure. I would start Grealish for sure against Crystal Palace, and I would start João Pedro. Yeah, I would bench Caicedo in that case. Sorry guys, I just need to take a napkin. 1 sec. Back. So yeah, I would start Grealish and João Pedro from those. Hi Dexter, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciate it. Thank you so much guys for being here. Start Konsa or Dorgu. I would start Konsa, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I in Game Week 6 on my last deadline stream I advised someone to start Dorgu, and now I feel a little bit bad to start Dorgu against Brentford. Obviously Manchester United were really bad. Again, I can see a clean sheet for Manchester United against Sunderland. I mean, surely they can't play that bad forever, right? But I would be more I think that it is more likely for Aston Villa to keep a clean sheet against Burnley, so that's why I would start Konsa and not complicate too much. So yeah. Or do you recommend to upgrade one of the two? I have 0.4 in the bank, already have Senesi, Van de Ven. No, definitely. If you have Konsa, I would keep him for this game. There's no point in selling him against Burnley at home. This is the best fixture he's going to get all season. And you have Senesi, Van de Ven, Guehi. Probably I would start those three instead of Konsa, but you can argue that maybe, I don't know, someone like Konsa is better actually than Van de Ven against Burnley at home, so yeah. Let me just... are you planning on making a transfer for Game Week 7? No. No, I'm not planning to make a transfer. I think that my team is decent enough for this game week. From game week 8, from next game week onwards, we're going to see what I'm going to do with Bruno Fernandes. If I want to go for someone like Saka, maybe not Saka because I have Gyökeres, I would like to keep him for the next few fixtures. But if I want to have someone like Enzo Fernandez, maybe someone like Palmer, Gordon, why not? But for this gaming, definitely I'm going to roll the transfer. That was my strategy all along. I used my wildcard last gaming, so now the plan would be to try to get to I don't know 3, 4, 5 free transfers if possible. I have 4-3-3 formation, so need to play one of Konsa or Dorgu or upgrade. Yeah, I would play Konsa. As I said before, Dexter, I would play Konsa. I think that he has the best fixture you're going to get, and yeah, I would play him against Burnley. Now again, if you want to go different, if you want to play Dorgu, that's perfectly fine. He's way more attacking than Konsa, but what I would do probably would be to go with the safe option. That's how I would go as a manager. So yeah, maybe a little bit boring, but I would play Konsa, I think. So let's see the poll. It is 50-50. Thank you so much, guys. No, so who to start? João Pedro, Reinders. It is 50-50%. So yeah, no help from you, I guess, from this poll. Maybe I should start both, right? Maybe I should bench Njay or something like that. Or bench Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I'm joking. No, not going to do that. Yeah, hopefully I'm not going to regret benching João Pedro, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Sorry about that. Lastly, Salah, keep or sell. If you don't have Erling Haaland, I would be tempted to just buy him and sell Mohamed Salah. If you have both of them, I don't know, I would just keep probably for now, because there aren't a lot of good midfielders at that price. If you're going to sell Salah, who are you going to? If you're going to sell Salah for Saka, fine, fair enough. I think that's a good move. But other than Bukayo Saka, Palmer, you're not going to go for him right now. Fernandes, probably not a player to buy right now. Mbeumo, Cunha, not great. I don't know, Wirtz, not great. Salah to Saka this week, what do you think? I think that's a good move. I think that Saka would be the only player I would sell Salah to this game week. The fixtures are great long term for Arsenal. Saka is definitely looking better than Salah for game week 7 anyway. So, yeah, I like that. If you don't mind that, if you don't have any other problems into your team, then yeah, I like that move. Hey Edvix, thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. Thanks a lot. What game week are you planning to play your triple captain? Yeah, didn't thought too much about it. I saw some people talking about you could even triple captain Erling Haaland this gaming, but probably that's a little bit of a knee jerk. Let's move to see a little bit the fixtures. I'm not sure. For an example, let's say I want a triple captain Haaland, right? Let's say he's going to maintain this form. He's going to be scoring 2 goals every game week. Then let's see. So if we move to game week 13, Manchester City are going to play against Leeds. This is an opportunity. In game week 15, again, Manchester City against Sunderland. It is a nice shout. And then in 17, I think, yeah, Manchester City against West Ham. So these are the opportunities for Haaland. Obviously, if you want to triple captain him this game week against Brentford, yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea. But yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about when I'm going to use my triple captain. If Palmer, I don't know, is going to be smashing it in game week 8, maybe I'm going to consider to use my triple captain on Palmer, right? Against Sunderland in game week 9. Probably not. And again, I need to see if I'm going to have... if I'm going to get back Mohamed Salah at some point, then I could consider also triple captaining him. Now, I understand, I get that at the moment it sounds crazy to use your triple captain on Mohamed Salah, right, when Haaland is performing the way it is. But yeah, I'm not going to be thinking too much at the moment, at least. You could leave how it is, and if Reinders doesn't start for some reason, then João Pedro will come out on as auto sub. Yeah, that's the thing. But again, if what happens, there's also that chance, reasonably, for Reinders to be on the bench and for him to came in for 10 minutes, and that would be really bad, right? But yeah, if obviously if any of my other midfielders are going to miss out for some unknown reasons, then yeah, I have a good sub in João Pedro. That's true. Abid Al Hussein, Van Dijk against Chelsea, or should I bench him against Chelsea? I mean, it really depends which players do you have other than Van Dijk. On paper, it doesn't look like a great fixture, right? For Liverpool, for a defender especially. But it depends if you have better options on your bench. So yeah, I can't advise you to bench Van Dijk or not if you're not going to tell me what players you have in your team. When are you planning to use your bench boost? I use already my bench boost in game week 5. If we go here, let's just look at the points. So in game week 5, I use my bench boost. This is it. Overall, a decent bench boost, usually, but again, Dubravka 4 points, Esteve 4 points, Reinders saved me 9 points, and Pedro Porro was really disappointing with just 1 point. But again, what was really frustrating about my team in game week 5 was my playing players, not my bench boost. So João Pedro blanked, Watkins and Rodgers blanked, Wirtz, he was on the bench. He came in, got a yellow card, 0 points, and Xavi Simons was also on the bench and came in and got 1 point. And also Milenkovic blanked, and Sanchez got a red card. So yeah, the problem was not the bench boost, but was my starting 11. So yeah, I use my bench boost. At least right now, I don't need to worry about that. And yeah, at some point maybe I'm going to downgrade one of my attackers, one of my forwards to Mark Guyu to have a dead spot on my team, because I use my bench boost. I could use those funds to upgrade elsewhere. So yeah. Van Ichvan, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciated. Rolf Donnarumma, Grealish, Tarkovsky, Senesi, Chalobah. Chalobah is suspended, right? Timber, Enzo, Grealish, Semenyo, Anthony, Paqueta, Haaland, Gyökeres, Voldemort. Really nice. Should I bench boost? I have 3 free transfers along with Chalobah. Who else should I change? So Donnarumma is fine. Rolfs is playing against Man United, but I would not use a transfer on a goalkeeper. Grealish, Tarkovsky are fine. Senesi, Timber. Paqueta is playing against Arsenal, but I'm not sure if it's worth to use that transfer just to use the bench boost. Haaland, Gyökeres, Voldemort is perfectly fine. So yeah, I would sell Chalobah probably to someone like Gabriel, something like that. And then if you want to sell Paqueta, but I'm not sure if it is worth a transfer. Forest look bad. Should I target the fixtures? Yeah, if you're asking me if we should target that fixture, Nottingham Forest, then yeah, they are looking bad at the moment. I mean, they are not Burnley type targeting fixture, but yeah, Forest are really bad this season. So yeah, I like Gordon this week. I like Voldemort this week because they are playing against Forest. So yeah, if we move back. Hi Daniel, Paddy, hi Folk, Ma, as a captain, Kudus or Richarlison? I would captain Richarlison, I think, in that case. Hey, bench 1 of Semenyo, Rogers, Kudus, Bruno Doku. I have front 3 of Watkins, Haaland, Gyökeres. Hi Daniel, Paddy, thanks so much for joining the stream also, guys, really appreciate it. So you have Watkins, Haaland, Gyökeres, okay? And bench 1, I would not bench Semenyo, I would not bench Rogers. I mean, maybe Rogers, but I would play Bruno, Semenyo for sure. And I think that I would play Rogers and Kudus, but again, it is between Rogers and Kudus which one I would bench. If I was in your case, obviously, I would feel more safe with starting Rogers, to be honest with you, but yeah. Hi Denis, start Dubravka or Sales. Hi The Go, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciated. So Dubravka against Aston Villa or Sales against Newcastle? That's a tough question. I mean, both are away. I think that I would start Dubravka. I think maybe he's going to get more saves. For whatever reason, I think that both of them are going to concede. So yeah. Just a second, guys. So if we move back to see if there was more, if there were more press conferences from yesterday and from today. Chelsea, Enzo Maresca confirmed 8 players are unavailable for the Liverpool game. That's what this is what I was talking also before. Chelsea are going to be without Palmer, Delap, Santos, Esugom, okay, not relevant. Colville, Fofana, Tosin, Chaloba, and Chelsea are going to be without a lot of defenders. And yeah, probably João Pedro is available for this game. People be counting Senesi Defcons on a Friday. Game is gone. Yeah, I mean, it is really funny. Also myself, at the moment, when your players are blanking, you're just, I'm just opening the app and looking at how my players are doing for Defcons. So yeah, I know this is not the best usage of my time, probably. Probably tonight, I'm going to be counting Defcon for Semenyo also. So yeah, this is the game at the moment. It is interesting. Also, guys, what's your opinion on the new rules in FPL? Let's say defensive contributions. Do you like it? Would you go back to how the game was last year? Buy Gyökeres for Watkins or Voldemar for Wood? Hi, Sharap, Alden Butia. Thank you so much for joining the stream. If I keep Watkins, I can get Gyökeres. Again, I think that Watkins is one of the best options in this game week, and I'm not joking. I think that he's one of the best. I think that Watkins is a better option than Gyökeres, to be honest with you, this game week. Now, again, Gyökeres maybe could be on penalties, but yeah, Watkins has the better fixture. And also Wood, his minutes are going to be reduced probably. I'm not even sure if Wood is going to start this gaming. Probably he's going to start because Igor Jesus started in Europe for Nottingham Forest. So probably Wood is going to start. He's on penalties also, you're right, but he's going to be subbed off at some point. So I would keep Watkins. This gaming. So yeah. Hi Pretty Gamer, thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. Van de Ven to Gabriel or Bruno to Saka? Tough. I don't know. I mean, I like both of your players, Van de Ven against Leeds and Bruno against Sunderland. It just doesn't feel right to sell Bruno Fernandes against Sunderland at home. I don't know. I think that I would keep Bruno for this game week. But if you really want to make a move, then yeah, I think that I would do Bruno to Saka. Try to go for the upside, but I like also Van de Ven to Gabriel as a long-term move. That's fantastic. So yeah, I think he's decent for defenders, but I don't know for midfielders with 12 required. Yeah, I mean, also for the forwards, it's pretty much useless. Sorry, useless. I wanted to say. I don't think that the forward got defensive contributions this game this season, and I think that it's too much for forwards and also for some midfielders. But with the midfielders, at least you have those defensive midfielders who are decent for defensive contributions, like Caicedo, like Xhaka, like Anderson. So for the midfielders, I think that it's okay. But for the forwards, I think that it is too much for them to get 12. It's pretty much impossible. Mateta was close in some game to get defensive contributions, but yeah. For Newcastle, Tino Livramento is going to be up for 8 weeks. Wissa and Ramsey remain sidelining until after October international break. So that's why I said that Voldemar at the moment looks like a great shout, short term at least, because Wissa is not going to be playing right now. When Wissa is going to be back, probably we're going to see some rotation, but yeah. And from Liverpool, it is tough. If you have Ekitike and Federico Chiesa will train today and be assessed following the session. It's looking like the injury is not bad for Ekitike from the Champions League. Alisson for sure is going to be ruled out for Game Week 7, probably till November or something like that. Alisson is going to be out, so Mamardashvili is going to play for Liverpool as a goalkeeper. Now, I don't think that's a problem. I think that he's an amazing goalkeeper himself. Anyway, but yeah, if you have Hugo Ekitike, I would say that probably he's a sell more than a keep, but yeah, I'm not sure. Isak didn't look great anyway, so yeah, I think that this is pretty much it. Arma Bisaka have both returned to training. Sunderland, not really interested. Mukiele is okay. Uh, so yeah, probably he's okay. Not injured. Nyoto from Leeds isn't ready to return. Yeah. For Bournemouth, no injuries. For Brighton, this is what Rizwan Ali was talking before. Kaoru Mitoma is a doubt after being left out of Japan's latest squad. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Mitoma is going to start or not. It is pretty much a 50-50. It's not looking good for him at the moment. Raul Jimenez will be assessed. Muniz and Tete are going to be out for Game Week 7. So yeah, pretty much that's it with the news. Yeah. Okay, so let's move to my team back. What do you think about two sets of chips though? I feel it's just FPL being lazy to add new chips. Uh, yeah, I was honest about my opinion. I don't really like the double chipsets, but I understand why they uh, put it in because for a lot of players who are not that much involved, it is more fun, right? More chips equals more fun. For me, it's just a headache. It's just more preparation. But again, I don't hate it. I just don't think that it was needed to have two bench boosts, two free hits. But yeah, it's definitely more funnier, I guess, for a lot of casuals. So hi Leox, thank you so much for joining the stream. Wood to Mateta or Sesko? uh from those two I would go for Mateta, but also Voldemort could be a nice option if you want to go there. He has a better fixture, but from Mateta and Sesko I would go for Mateta. Maybe not the better fixture for Mateta, but he's on penalties. 18 people, thank you so much guys for joining the stream. Yeah, I'm a little bit sick, so sorry for the awkward voice. Thanks a lot for joining. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream, and yeah, good evening everyone, and yeah, hopefully you're going to have a great weekend. uh, is it worth playing a back four of Van Dijk, Poro, Munoz and Burn? Definitely I would play Poro, Munoz and Burn for sure. And then if you don't have any good, any better midfielders or strikers than Van Dijk, then yeah, it's fine to play Van Dijk. Hi Leox, hi Dennis, thank you so much. Play one Pedro Gakpo or -4 for Gakpo, anyone else? Long term, at least 5-6 gamings. I would not take a -4 for Gakpo. I think he's probably going to start against Chelsea if you want to start him, and Chelsea are going to be without 3 defenders or something like that. So play one João Pedro or Gakpo. That's tough. I mean, Liverpool were bad defensively. Chelsea are going to be without some players in defense. I think that I would start João Pedro, and that is really tough for me to say as a Liverpool fan because he has the home fixture and Liverpool didn't look great. But also I like also Gakpo for this fixture. I think that he's going to start, and yeah, Liverpool can score against Chelsea, right? It's not impossible or something like that. Hi Florin, hi Nix, hi Tonda, Rudiger, hi Mbas. Thank you so much guys for joining, really appreciate it. Play Alderete or Guehi Doku. I would definitely play Doku in that case instead of playing Guehi or Alderete. yeah, Tonda, Rudiger, I would play Doku. Nix, hi Dennis, hi Nix. Would you captain Saka over Haaland this week? No, there isn't any player I would captain instead of Erling Haaland. Again, if you wanna play it differently, if you wanna go different, then yeah, I think that Saka is probably the second best choice captaincy option this gaming. But I think that Erling Haaland is the best captaincy option in this gaming, so I would just play him and avoid that headache. But yeah, Van de Ven or Krejci. Krejci is more attacking and Baz. Van de Ven more likely to keep a clean sheet, right? So I think that I would go for Van de Ven, but it's close. And Baz. Hi Florin also, thank you so much for joining, really appreciated. Want to bench Krejci or Van de Ven? So yeah, the same question. I think that I would play slightly Van de Ven, but it's really close. Captain Beumo, Salah, Kudus. If you don't have Erling Haaland, then yeah, obviously you need to captain another player. So if you want to go super different, if you want to target the fixture, if you think that Man United can score some goals against Sunderland, I would captain Mbeumo. If you want to go safe, I would just go for Mohamed Salah. Probably if I was in your place, I would just captain Mohamed Salah despite his recent form, despite Liverpool playing that bad. He's still on penalties. He's going to start against Chelsea, definitely. And he's going to play probably 90 minutes. So I would captain Salah, I think, from those three. Just a second. I need another napkin. Back. Oh. 19 likes. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. To-do. Yeah. So the poll is right now in favor of Rindis with 53%. Thanks a lot for the help, guys. Hi, Crystal27. Thanks a lot for joining. Good to see you. Hi, Dennis. How are you this week? Chaka or Richard Sub? I'm a little bit sick this week, but other than that, I'm happy with my team. Yeah, they're just having some dilemmas. Which one to play, Rindis or João Pedro? At the moment, I'm leaning Rindis, but yeah, it's a really close decision. Chaka or Richards? Who to bench? Chaka or Richards? Yeah, tough question. I think that, I don't know, Chaka is on set pieces. I mean, definitely Richards has the better fixture, but also Sunderland were decent. Man United were really bad. I think that I would play Chaka in that game, to be honest with you, and hope that he's going to get some assists, maybe nick a goal or something like that. It's not impossible, and yeah, defensive contributions is also decent. So probably Chaka in that case. Pedro Reinders, look at my screen. Sharap Aldenboot. Yeah, this is also my question at the moment. I'm starting Reinders at the moment. If you want to go safe, if you don't want to go against João Pedro huge ownership, then just play João Pedro, you know. Probably it's more safe to just play João Pedro in that case, but I'm willing to bet against João Pedro, and I think that also Reinders is a decent pick this week, so At the moment, I'm leaning towards Rindis, but I just don't think that's too much into it. So yeah. I've got 8 million in the bank for a midfielder. Nice. Give me some of that cash, Eliker, please. I could use some 8 millions to be honest with you. And I wanted to go for Minte and DCL for -4. I've been frustrated with Gakpo the past few weeks. Should I avoid the -4 and just play Gakpo? Yeah, I would not take -4 to take out Gakpo, I think. But yeah, I understand your frustration. He blanked in the last 3 game weeks or something like that. So you wanted to go for Minte and DCL. But you should try to use that money, right? I mean, at some point, 8 millions is a lot of money to be in your bank. So yeah, if you can go, I don't know, maybe someone Gakpo to Bukayo Saka for -4, that could be okay, I guess. Long term, definitely, I think that Saka is a better pick than Gakpo. But I'm not sure about the -4. To take out the Liverpool attacker, who's pretty much nailed to start this gaming at least. Hi, The Fiend, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciate it. A fifth mid, I have Semenyo, Gordon, Sar, Anthony, budget 7.6. So you need to buy a midfielder, right? You have Semenyo, Gordon, Sar, Anthony. It depends if you want to spend all your budget. Minte and Giants Sar probably are the best midfielders at the moment. You have Sar already. So if you don't have Ismail Sar from Crystal Palace, I would go for him. If you have him, I would go for Minte probably, and then probably Njae, but not the best fixture Gaming 7 for Njae. So yeah. One hour to go, yeah. I just posted a poll also with this question on my Twitter, on my X, to see how we go there, but yeah. Salah is the most transferred out player in FPL. What a time we're living in, man. Yeah, who knows? I'm prepared for Mohamed Salah to punish me and to punish a lot of players who sold him, so yeah. Again, maybe not against Chelsea, definitely. I don't think that it's a great fixture for Liverpool, but I like Mohamed Salah, so who knows? Sorry about that. 1 hour to go. Yeah, I want to look at some predictions for teams for this gaming. I just need to get to no, not this here. These are not 100% sure, guys, so remember that, but again, we can have a clear image about how the teams are going to line up probably. Oh, come on. So, potential difference, thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. Is there any update on João Pedro? Also, how is Voldemar for this week punt, as I am wildcarding next week? The update on João Pedro, no, I mean, Maresca didn't say anything about João Pedro. He said that they have some injuries, but regarding to other players, so we just can assume that João Pedro is available and he's most likely to start. Again, if you have any doubts, if you have another player who has a decent fixture, maybe that's your chance to go against him. But personally, I think that João Pedro is going to start this gaming. And Voldemort for this week is nice. And also for the short term, I think that Voldemort is nice because Wisa is going to be out probably until November or something like that. So his minutes are just going up at the moment. I like him as a punt for game week 7. I like Gordon as a punt. So yeah, you have Wood, Pedro, Haaland. Again, it is nice also to roll the transfer because you can save those transfers when you wildcard. So it is nice when you're wildcarding and you have also saved some transfers. So again, I'm not sure if I would. If you want to take a 1 week punt, then that's perfectly fine. So this is how Manchester City is predicted to line up: Donnarumma, Lewis, Ruben, Guardiola, O'Reilly, Reinders, Rodri and Foden, Bernardo, Haaland and Doku. So yeah, no surprises here. If we move to Manchester United, if you're interested in how they might line up, De Ligt, Maguire, Shaw in the back line, Dalot, Ugarte, Bruno Fernandes and Dorgu. And in attack, they are predicted to go with Mbeumo, Sesko and Cunha. So no surprises really for Manchester United. We need to see if that's how actually they are going to line up. I see that they are putting some doubts around Cunha with 65% chance of starting. Yeah, I think that's going to start personally, but could be wrong, obviously. If we move to Chelsea, how they are predicted to line up against Brighton at home, it is Cucurella. I mean, this is wrong, right? Chalobah is suspended. Okay, never mind. This is for 27 September. Okay, yeah, my mistake. This is not for Game Week 7. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, make sure you lock in your team, guys. If you're interested, I can show you a little bit about my plans for the future. Now, at least at the moment, I don't have any plans because obviously I use my wildcard in Game Week 6, so I'm pretty safe at the moment. I want to just roll this Game Week. So if we move to Game Week 8, happy with my backline: Senesi, Alderete, Gabriel, Raya in defense. Sorry, my cat is meowing at the moment. Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes and Njae are going to play against Liverpool, respectively Manchester City. So not amazing. Maybe I'm going to look to get rid of Bruno Fernandes, but which midfielder are you going from Game Week 7? I will have just 9 minutes in the bank. Now, obviously, I could make 2 transfers, but again, I don't really want to sell any of my players. I think that they are decent at the moment. I could go for someone like Ismail Assar, but Crystal Palace are going to play against Bournemouth in Game Week 8, which is not amazing, and then Arsenal, so not sure about that. I could go for someone like Gordon against Brighton, Fulham, West Ham and Brentford, 3 fixtures away, not amazing. So yeah, realistically I would like to go for Palmer, and if I want to do that, I will need to downgrade one of my midfielders probably. Yeah, probably someone like Kudus or Njae. That would be my only possibility, or obviously downgrading Gyökeres, but I don't know if I want to do that. Would you take a -4 to bring in Saka? Now, if you're asking about my team, I would not take that -4 because I have already Gyökeres. I don't know, in some circumstances, if you're asking me about your team, maybe there are some circumstances when I would use a hit to buy Saka, but the players need to be really bad for me to think about taking a hit. I think that Saka is a great option this week. If you have the money to go for him, if you go for him for free, I think that he's great. He probably not going to play 90 minutes, I don't know, but still he's great anyway. So yeah, it really depends which players are you taking out. How is your first 11 looking like without making this hit? If it's okay, I would just skip Saka for this gaming. So yeah, not easy for me to go for Palmer. If I'm going to be stuck with Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to have 3 free transfers in game week 9. And then here I could go for Palmer if he's going to be fit against Sunderland at home. I really want to have him, but yeah. Other than that, the team looks okay. No, the fixtures are decent for all of them, but again, we're going to take a look at what we can do from game week 9 on. Brentford, Aston Villa, City for Liverpool. In game week 10, I will have, I don't know, 4 free transfers or something like that. The fixtures are still decent. I could even roll here again, not a problem. So yeah, depending on which players are going to interest me in the next few game weeks, I'm going to decide when I'm going to use my transfers, if I'm going to roll more transfers. But the thing is, I want to try to be flexible and to be prepared to have some transfers if I need them. Hi Blake Williamson, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for turning in. Verbruggen, Van de Ven, Cucurella, Gabriel. Two free transfers, should I wildcard? So you have Van de Ven, Cucurella against Liverpool, Gabriel. I think that I would play Konsa instead of Cucurella, to be honest with you. Reinders, Elanga, Semenyo, Njae, Haaland, João Pedro, Gyökeres. I would not use a wildcard with this team. I think that the team is decent. What you're missing here is, I don't know, another Arsenal defender maybe, but other than that, your team looks okay. You have Elanga, who is a minutes risk, but still, you have Semenyo, you have Njae, you have Haaland, you have João Pedro, Gyökeres, and Haaland. Your forwards are pretty much my forwards, and I really like my forwards for the next 3, 4, 5 fixtures. So, yeah, you have Wirtz, who probably is a sell, and I don't know how much money you have in the bank. If you can go to someone like Bukayo Saka, then that's your transfer, Wirtz to Saka. Other than that, yeah, probably I would play Konsa instead of Cucurella. But yeah, if you want to play Cucurella, I don't mind it also. So yeah, I don't think that you need to use your wildcard, Blake Williamson. I think that your team is pretty much similar to mine, and I just use my wildcard less gaming, so you're in a good position. Bye, Dennis. Gotta go. Good luck. Thank you so much, Ibrahim Ali, for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Good evening, good luck, and have a great weekend. Thanks a lot for turning in to the stream. Means a lot. I might as well show you my ID. Okay, let me see. Let's see here. Okay, so this is your team. Eliker, Henderson and Munoz against Everton, nice. Burn, Pedro Porro, nice defense. Semenyo, Reinders, Bruno Fernandes, Gakpo, Ndoye, João Pedro, Haaland. So yeah, I understand. You have 2 or 3 picks who are not screaming a lot of points, but your team looks fine. I would say, would you take a -4 to bring in Saka? You have 2 millions in the bank. I mean, you could just sell Bruno Fernandes to Bukayo Saka if you want, but probably you don't want to do that. I don't know. I think that your team is fine. Yeah, it is tough on who to play between Gakpo and Virgil van Dijk, but probably I would like to play the midfielder, right? In Gakpo. Ndoye against Newcastle away is not amazing anyway. He is 6 millions, right? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that your team looks fine, so I don't think that it is worth it to take a -4 to buy Bukayo Saka, but I don't know. You don't have any Arsenal players. Other than João Pedro, Gakpo, and Ndoye, I really like your team, so I don't see a problem with that. You have 2 players from Crystal Palace who can keep a clean sheet against Everton. It's not out of the question. So yeah, the the answer is I don't know. If I was you, probably I would just play Gakpo. I remain to my conclusion. I don't think that I would take a -4 to take him out, but I understand it is really tempting to just buy Bukayo Saka and have him for the next few game weeks. Ndoye is definitely a sell for me. Yeah, probably. Good luck this game week, everyone. Good luck, Rizwan Ali. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciated. And yeah, good luck. Good evening, everyone. We still have 45 minutes till the deadline. So yeah, the stream is going on if you guys want to remain here. Yeah, I didn't talk too much about my team, but I think that I'm pretty much, I don't know, I'm locked in with my decision of starting Reinders ahead of João Pedro. This could go totally wrong, so hopefully it's not going to be the case, but yeah, João Pedro's ownership is huge at the moment, and if he's going to get a return, then that's going to be a disaster for me, but yeah, I'm willing to bet against João Pedro in this fixture in particular. Hi UK Wave Visuals, thank you so much for joining the stream. João Pedro over Pedro Porro. I'm not sure. Yeah, probably I would just play João Pedro instead of pretty much any other defender, maybe not called Gabriel, Senesi. I've started Enzo over João Pedro as well. Hopefully it works out. Yeah, good luck. Hopefully it's going to work out for us. Hi Juntao, thank you a lot for joining the stream. Hi bro, will Gabriel start? And also, would you start João Pedro against Liverpool? again, you have that question, that the answer on the screen, because I'm benching Joao Pedro, but it really depends which players are you going to start over him, obviously. And I still think that Joao Pedro is a nice option, but I'm willing to bet against his ownership in this fixture. And Gabriel, I think that he's going to start. Arteta said that he's fine. Now again, it depends if you are going to trust what he said. Again, if you have Gabriel, my general advice would be to start him. And even if you want to buy him, I think that he's a nice buy for the future anyway. So yeah, play Joao Pedro or Chaka. I think that I would play Joao Pedro in that case. Yeah. I just think that Chaka is not at the same level of someone like Reinders to discuss about benching Joao Pedro for him, but it depends how much risk you want to take. I would start Joao Pedro over Chaka. Hi Abdul Man, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciate it. Start Van de Ven or Joao Pedro? I would start Joao Pedro still. I would start Joao Pedro over pretty much all the defenders besides maybe Gabriel, Senesi, something like that. But usually I like to start the forwards. Yeah, UK wave. It is kind of on the screen, but again, I can't play Joao Pedro instead of Van de Ven. So your answer is partially correct, but I'm benching Joao Pedro for Reinders, not for Van de Ven. So yeah, it is a little bit different there. Reinders or Kudus? Hi Jacobs official, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciated. Reinders or Kudus? I would start Kudus for sure in that case. Kudus, it is for me. One free transfer, upgrade my bench player from Anderson to Richards or roll. Anderson to Richards. I would not sell Anderson. I think that is a great option going forward. Maybe not in the next 3-4 game weeks, but after that, Anderson, if we're talking about Anderson from Fulham, I think that he's a keep and I would just keep him. I don't think that it is worth the transfer. Anderson to Richards is pretty much sideways. You're transferring a 4.5 million defender to another one, and both are great for defensive contributions. So yeah, I would roll in that case. I would roll in that case. Now probably I'm rating a little bit more Richards because I think that Crystal Palace defense is a little bit better than Fulham's, but I just don't think that you should use a transfer to sell Anderson basically. So yeah, I would just roll in your case. Juntao. Only one City player has scored versus Brentford at GTEC Stadium in the whole history, and it's Foden, lol. Is that true? Let me just check it. It sounds really crazy, Spidey. So, so in 2025, Phil Foden scored both goals. In September 2024, so last 2 seasons ago, Erling Haaland scored the brace in a 2-1 away win at Brentford. So yeah, I used ChatGPT to find this. So yeah, that's why City. So not only Foden scored against Brentford away, it's also Erling Haaland. So yeah, Erling Haaland, yeah, scored 2 goals. Against Brentford in 2024. Foden always scores crazy against Brentford though, but there's no way that's actually true. Yeah, I just checked it with ChatGPT, and yeah, Haaland scored also brace in 2024 away to Brentford. Uh, but yeah, again, I'm not really that kind of I don't know guy or FPL manager who thinks that, for an example, if Mohamed Salah is scoring a lot of goals against Manchester United, it's not definitely going to happen again, right? I mean, again, it could happen. Maybe there's something into it, but I'm not basing all my I don't know, captain decision on these facts anyway. But yeah, Erling Haaland is in good form. Foden is getting good minutes at the moment, so I had 3 free transfers, did Guyo to Gyökeres and Njaya to Chaka first on sub. I hope that don't backfire. Guyo to Gyökeres is a nice upgrade. And Chaka and Njaya to Chaka. Okay. I mean, I don't think that Njaya was a player necessary to be sold. But yeah, not a problem. Probably you needed that money to upgrade Guyo to Gyökeres, right? Everton's fixtures not great going forward. Yeah, that's true. That's why I didn't go on for Tarkovsky on my wildcard, and actually I didn't understand the hype. Everybody was putting Tarkovsky into their draft. He's 5.5 millions, so he's not that cheap. And the fixtures for Everton are really bad in general. I don't see a lot of clean sheets, and I get that everybody picked Tarkovsky because he's great for defensive contributions, but I want also my defenders to have some chances of getting clean sheets, right? A clean sheet is double the points of defensive contribution. So yeah, I thought Tarkovsky was a little bit overhyped, maybe overestimated a little bit, but yeah, definitely he's a decent option. That was at home. That's what Premier League app says. Okay, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're right, Spidey, but yeah, I just chatted with ChatGPT, so yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I did Dewsbury Hall to Minte. Nice. Again, Dewsbury Hall, I think that at 5 million is a decent option long term anyway, but yeah, if you needed the player to play this game week, I like Minte. Sar, Minte, these players are really good. Gordon also for the long future. At the moment, they are emerging, so yeah, I like Minte on that price. My team: Raya, Gabriel, Romero, Senesi, Kudus, Reinders, Semenyo, Bruno, Gyökeres, João Pedro, Haaland. That's a great team. That's a great team. Juntao and your subs are Chaka, Anderson, and Rodon. Yeah, that's how I would play it. 1 free transfer, 0.6 minutes in the bank. What do you think? I think that your team is looking great, Juntao, so no need to make any transfers anymore. For now, at least. Yeah, the 2-1 win was at Etihad. Just Google it with the Haaland brace. Okay. Yeah. Could be, could be. But maybe Haaland scored more braces. Brentford City 1-2 2024. Let's see. Yeah, I don't find it. Yeah, maybe you're actually right, but I find it really difficult to believe. Maybe it was in a cup or something like that, right? Maybe that game was in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Maybe. But it's still a GTEC, so yeah. We have 30 minutes till the deadline. Let's see. Let me just check if we have any news. Also on Twitter, a lot of people are telling me to play Reindeers of João Pedro. I might as well just do that, to be honest. So on your bench you have Chaka, Anderson, Rodon, and who's your second goalkeeper? I still think that I would wait maybe with the bench boost, but also Anderson probably is going to get defensive contributions. Rodon has a chance definitely of getting defensive contributions. The same goes for Chaka. So again, if your second goalkeeper is decent, if you want to get rid of the bench boost, you can just use it this week. If not, oh yeah, so you have Dubravka, so probably he's going to make some saves. You're looking at, I would say, 10 to 12 points. That would be the floor, I think. Let's say 4, 4, 4, something like that, and 3 for Dubravka. Again, it is not out of the question to use your bench boost. If you want to get rid of it, again, it's not the best one. Rodon, to have Rodon against Spurs when probably they're going to concede. Dubravka probably is going to concede. Anderson is going to probably to concede tonight against Bournemouth. So yeah, not the best one. If you want to delay it, definitely you can do it. But what I would advise you to do is to take a look, if you want, on Fantasy Football Hub or any other app to see when you're going to have a better bench boost than this one. Because if you're not going to have a better bench boost, for an example, you might as well just use it now. So yeah, planning to use it in another game week. Yeah, that's fair enough. But I think that it is decent also if you want to use it now. Yeah, the 2-1 win was at the Etihad. Okay. Just to double check, João Pedro isn't on pens, right? He could be. He could be. Yeah, I didn't say that this choice to play Reinders was easy. I mean, Enzo Fernandez took the last penalty when Palmer was out. So a lot of people right now assume that Enzo Fernandez is on penalties, but I'm not sure 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure about that. João Pedro might as well could be on penalties. He has a good record. Enzo Fernandez also has a decent record at penalties. So again, until Chelsea are going to get one, we're not going to be 100% sure. I would say at the moment it's 70% Enzo is on penalties and maybe 30% João Pedro could take them. So yeah, it's not... I can't... I don't know, basically, if João Pedro is on penalties or not. But I think that there is a little chance he could be on them. Which game week would you use bench boost? Most people are thinking game week 11. Why? It doesn't matter when other people are using the bench boost. You need to look at your team. As I said before, get in on a... Let me just show you. So this is the Fantasy Football Hub app, which I use because I find it really useful. They have a lot of tools, by the way. The links are into my description if you want to check it. But in your case, if you want to see when you're going to have a good bench boost, for example, this is game week 11 for me. Again, obviously, maybe I'm going to make some transfers. You need to see when you're going to have a good bench boost. For example, let's say this is game week 7 for me. Dubravka, João Pedro, Alderete, Van de Ven. If we move to game week 8, and then just look how your bench boost is going to be. Dubravka and Jay, this is not a good time to bench boost. I don't have the bench boost, but anyway. So you got the point, right? When you have a bench like this, Dubravka against Arsenal, Kudus and Van de Ven against Chelsea, and Senesi against Man City, probably you don't want to use your bench boost. So it doesn't really matter when people are using their bench boost, because probably their team is different than yours. So you need to take a look at your own team. And yeah, even if you don't want to use any app, just look at how your bench would look like in game week 8, 9, 10, 11, and then decide. Hi Jamalo, thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciated. Pope, Van de Ven, Anderson, Nico Williams, Reinders, Mohamed Salah, Semenyo. So, and on your bench, Dubravka, João Pedro, Bissaka, Reinildo. Should I play wildcard? If you have Haaland, probably not. You have Richarlison, Haaland. You have Andreas, Semenyo, Mohamed Salah, Reinders. No. I mean, Anderson, Nico Williams is not great for this game week. But again, I'm not sure if I would use the wildcard. You also need to ask yourself the question: how many players would you change on a wildcard? And maybe if you didn't thought about using the wildcard till now, with just 25 minutes out in the deadline, maybe it is better to wait at least and use your wildcard in game week 8, because you just don't have enough time to think right now which players you want. You're going to have some pressure because the deadline is real soon. So I think that I would delay the wildcard at least till game week 8. And also you have a lot of good players there: Semenyo, Haaland, Richarlison for this game week. So yeah, I'm thinking about a game week 8 bench boost with Dubravka, Reinders, Van de Ven and Gudmundsson. Yeah, that's looking nice. A lot of people are looking at game week 8 because they have some players from Leeds and they have a great fixture in game week 8. So you could look at game week 8 also. One sec. The only problem is I will have to play Tarkowski at Manchester City away. Okay, so then Tarkowski would be on your bench. But yeah, it's not such a big problem. Tarkowski probably is going to get defensive contributions in that game. So yeah, you need to play it at some point. Better earlier, I would say, because you can't concentrate after that. Dubravka, Esteve, Gakpo, Senesi, should I bench boost? I mean, if you really want to get get it out of the way, if again, I keep saying the same thing, right? You need to ask this question to yourself: when are you going to have a better bench boost? And if you're going to have a better bench boost, a way better bench boost, let's say in game week 8, 9, 10, then maybe it could be worth to wait. But if not, you have Dubravka, Esteve, who are probably going to get some defensive contributions. Esteve and Dubravka some save points against Aston Villa. You have Gakpo, who's likely to start against Chelsea. Chelsea team who is missing a lot of defenders for Game Week 7. And you also have Senesi. Now, I think that Senesi should be in your starting 11, by the way, but yeah, it is still a decent bench boost if you want to use it. But it depends how your team is looking also in the future. Gaming with Cable Monster 10, thank you so much also for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Yeah, no news. I'm keep checking to see if we get any news for Game Week 7, but not, you know. Hi, Sazed Zebari, thank you so much for joining the stream. 18 people, thank you so much, guys, also for joining. Really appreciate it. Also, Aditya as well. Star Van de Ven or Guehi. That's a tough question. Guehi is better for defensive contributions. I think that I would start Guehi because, I don't know, man. Can't you find a way to play both of them? I think that I would start Guehi. Anyway, yeah, it's tough, it's close, but I would start Guehi there or Gay. Newcastle defender or Matty Cash on a free. I would like to have Matty Cash on a free. I think, yeah, I would go for Matty Cash. Can you check who's expected more points? Please, Kudus or Njae and Anderson or Romero. Anderson. Can you suggest a wildcard draft? I made a wildcard draft video this week if you wanna check it out. No problem. Saed Zebari, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciated. So first, let's see if we can take a look here. So for Game Week 7, which player did you say? Kudus or Njae? I'm sure Kudus is expected to score more points, I would say. So, okay, Njae expected to score 4.9 points here and Kudus 4.8, so it's not such a big difference between them. I would start Kudus if that helps you a little bit. And between Anderson and Anderson or Romero. Yeah, I would say Romero here. But let's see. Okay. Romero 4.2 and Anderson 3.7. So yeah, Romero here. Yeah, about the wildcard, let's see here. A wildcard team, AI wildcard team now. Yeah, probably I wouldn't go for Watkins on a wildcard. I would go for Haaland. I would go for Roya Gabriel and Bukayo Saka from Arsenal on a wildcard. That's what I know. I would go for Richards, Senesi, and Anderson probably, and Alderete as your fifth defender. Then I would go for Semenyo, Sar, Minte, and in attack it's a little bit tougher. I would go for Haaland definitely, and then yeah, I'm not sure. And then in the forward line I would go for Mateta, could be a nice option also on a wild card. João Pedro probably, and maybe or maybe Bowen. So something like that I would do on a wild card because I really like the fixtures for Bowen long term. FPL guy, hi Dennis. Bird, Van de Ven or Richards? I think that I would play Richards if I had him instead of Van de Ven, but it's really close just because of the defensive contributions. Can you check Chaka expected points? Yeah, sure. But also, guys, you can check it by yourself if you like this app. Chaka is for Gaming 7, it is 3.7 points. So yeah, again, this is just a metric, so it's not going to happen exactly how it is predicted. 26 likes, thanks a lot guys. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, it would help me a lot and I really appreciate all your support. Hi Linford Bukes, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Bench boost Alderete, Anderson, Stach and Dubravka. Gaming 8 bench boost doesn't look good for me. I mean, Stach in Gaming 8 is going to have a better fixture, right? He's going to play against Burnley in Gaming 8, so I'm not sure how your bench boost is going to look in Gaming 8. But Anderson at some point is going to have better fixtures than Bournemouth away, I think. Now, yeah. I don't mind it. If you want to get rid of it right now, it is okay. You just need to see how your team is going to look like. Hi, Seaman. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. I have a feeling that Bruno Hall is incoming and Saka will blank as usual. That would be amazing for me, not going to lie. But yeah, it would be really FPL for Saka to blank and Bruno to Hall, but definitely it could happen. Hopefully for that team that's going to happen. Hello Dennis, using wildcard next week. Got free transfers and want to bring Arsenal to this gaming. Don't have any at the moment. Which should I get? Gabriel Timber or Gyökeres? Want to replace Williams or Wood? So I would say that Saka is an interesting one. I would probably just bring in Bukayo Saka, but probably you don't want to use a transfer. Probably you don't want to buy a midfielder, right? So in that case, I would just buy Gyökeres, I think, to try to attack the fixture. But I like both of them. I like Gyökeres and Gabriel, and I just can't say to buy a defender instead of Gyökeres. It just doesn't feel right. Also because you want to attack this fixture, you don't really care about the future because you're going to use your wildcard in Game 8. So yeah, I would go for Gyökeres, I think. Thanks, no problem, Seaman. Thank you so much for turning up. Really appreciate it. We have 11 minutes, guys, so make sure you lock in your teams. I should make sure my team is locked as well, by the way. Yeah, but I'm fine. Yeah, João Pedro, Anderson and Alderete, Captain Haaland, Vice Captain Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, just trying to check if we get any news, but probably we're not going to get any early leaks for Fulham Bournemouth, and yeah, probably Semenyo, Senesi, all these players are just going to start. Yeah. Yeah, 9 minutes till the deadline. Make sure you lock in your teams. I'm pretty much locked in, I guess. Again, it doesn't feel great benching João Pedro. But I mean, as a Liverpool fan, sounds great. Hopefully, we're going to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if João Pedro gets a return against Liverpool. So yeah, I don't mind if you guys want to play João Pedro. I have no problem at all with that. He's a great option anyway. So for the future, I mean, I don't see a reason to sell someone like João Pedro. Like some people are thinking at the moment. But I get it. He was really bad in the last 3 gamings. He didn't have a lot of chances to score, so I understand also that logic. Hi, Mr. Blanky. Good to see you here. Good evening. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Oh, there's storm concerns tomorrow for the Liverpool Chelsea game. Not again. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, it doesn't really matter. I have just one player from Chelsea, so yeah. But hopefully the game is going to go on. I don't want any suspended games. I don't see a lot of reports with that, so maybe it's not that major, but yeah, could be. There were also rumors about last week when Liverpool played against Everton, but it was sunny when the game was played, so yeah. Disruption. Yeah, advise anyone attending tonight's game via rail to check their journey. Yeah, also for the Bournemouth Fulham games, I think that is going to be rainy from what I see. What store, man up and play? We have FPL at stake. Yeah, yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter for the players. The big problem is the safety, right, of the people who are going to attend the game. I also personally gone to the Liverpool parade, and there was a big rain that day, and all the trains were delayed, and it was horrible, man. So yeah, I feel for those people, for their safety, not for the players, because the players could play right in the rain. Nobody cares. They can play. They are just 11 people, but when thousands of people are blocked in traffic on their way home, it's not nice. It's not big enough to delay, and game is good to go, but there's concerns. Okay. Yeah. Sup, bro? Hi, Siberian Amur Tiger. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. Would you start Alderete or Nico Williams? Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, I think that both of them are going to concede, to be honest with you. So in that case, honestly, I think that I would start Alderete. I think that Sunderland defended amazing this season compared to Nottingham Forest, who are really bad at the moment. And also you could argue that Sunderland have the easier fixture, and it sounds weird and crazy to say that about Manchester United, but at the moment I feel like this is the way things are at the moment. So I think that I will start Alderete. I think that he's better for defensive contributions, that's why. Dennis predicts score Manchester United versus Sunderland. I hope that is going to be a 3-3 draw with a hat-trick from Bruno Fernandes. But yeah, if I was to predict it realistically, I don't know, 2-1 or 3-1 to Manchester United. I think that United really need to win this game. And I don't think that it's going to be easy anyway, but yeah, I think that they're going to find a way to win, maybe. My team: Sanchez, Poro, Williams, Senesi, Munoz, Semenyo, Staff, Fernandez, Randy, Salam, Pedro, Bench, Dubravka, Anderson, Dewsbury Hall. So I would play Poro and Senesi and Munoz for sure. And probably I would play Anderson instead of Williams there. Semenyo, Staff, Fernandez, Reinders is fine. Haaland, Pedro. I think that I would roll. Honestly, you have Haaland, you have Semenyo, you have Fernandez. I would roll just to have 3 free transfers next game week, and maybe when if you want to go for Saka, if you want to go for Palmer next game week, you're going to be flexible and you're going to be able to do that. So I think that I would roll. Currently, would you start Williams or Diouf? I would start Williams in that case, because Diouf, Arsenal is the toughest fixture you can get as a defender, for attacking returns anyway. So I would start Nico Williams in that case. Also, he's better for defensive contributions. So yeah, Mr. Blankley, probably just roll. Or if you want to get rid of Nico Williams to Gabriel, I would try to do that. I'm praying for West Ham to score by hook or crook and break the double Arsenal defense to 2 points each. Yeah, hopefully it's going to be a 0-0 that game, Arsenal West Ham. So yeah, 90 people on the stream. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Really appreciated. Thanks a lot for the support. Hi, Muhammad Arham. Hi, Wamara Ayomide. Rodon versus Van de Ven versus Anderson. It's easy. I would just start Van de Ven. The order would be Van de Ven, Anderson and Rodon. Hello Stardew for Esteve. Dewsbury is red flagged in my team. I would start Esteve instead of Diouf for sure. Foden or Reinders. I would start Foden for sure. And I think that he has more upside than Reinders. So yeah, I think that Foden is better for this week at least. Bruno hat-trick, okay then. Let's go. 21 people. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you lock in your teams because there's just 1 minute till the deadline. I should make sure my team is locked in. Yeah, I'm okay. Bring it on. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support. 33 likes, that's amazing. Also 21 people watching me. Greenfinch, thanks. Paul or Konsa, I would start Konsa in that case. Thanks for joining the stream, by the way, really appreciated. I would start Konsa personally against Burnley. Yeah, I try to see if there are any news, but I think that we are locked in. Three, two, one. We are locked in, guys. Gotta go. Good luck this week. Thank you so much for joining. Richarlison, a good pick for wildcard. Yeah, for the short term, I think that is a good pick. Anirban Banerjee, but make sure you lock in your team because the deadline has just passed. Good luck, everyone, for the weekend. Good luck, everyone. Have a nice weekend. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. Njae on Reinders, I would start Njae, I think. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for joining the stream. I'm going to stay here for 2-3 minutes, but yeah, I'm feeling a little bit sick, as you may know. So yeah, hopefully you're not going to be too upset that I'm going to leave a little bit more early tonight. If you're leaving, leave a like on your way out. Hit that subscribe button if you're around here. And yeah, thanks a lot. I've gone for Minte as my differential. Good luck, Eliker. Good luck, wishing for a green arrow for everyone. And you too, especially Dennis. Thanks a lot. Anirban Banerjee, thanks a lot. I wish you to have a green arrow. Also, a nice day, a nice evening, a nice weekend to everyone. I thank you again for being here on the stream. It really means a lot. I really appreciate it, and yeah, you're just amazing for being here every stream. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so get well soon. See you again. Thank you so much, Crystal. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for being here. I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for your support. Leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And I'm going to see you real soon. Bye.